matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down, Jacobs. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Touchdown Raiders! Darren Waller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Play action. It's Herbert. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Herbert now. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll that'll bring up third.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Here we go on fourth. Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 27, Carr. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play. Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
On first down, Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up second down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 8. In motion goes the tight end. To throw again on second down. Carr. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Now Carr. This one into the hands of Burton. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now a play fake. Carr. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. Give that sack to the linebacker, Jayon Brown.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
On the return, it's White. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He's got a man, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Nelson Aguilar, 54 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0.
Lions, nothing.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Here's Herbert. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Herbert off of play action. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Forced out to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Beavis is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. They're ready to kick it off. Here's Beavis. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. After the sack on first down, Carr looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Aguilar in motion left. Throwing his car on third down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first and 10, here's Carr. He'll look downfield for Waller. And that is incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's got some space here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. He's got a man. Complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there. A big one.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there. Turned it into a really nice game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Now it's Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line.
It's a gain of 18.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. Touchdown! Chris Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are back within a score. The extra point by Mevis is up and good. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14. They're ready to kick it off. Here's Mevis. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. In motion right is Aguilar. On 2nd and 12, Carr. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage, and ahead of the deep coverage, put the ball right on him.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Aguilar.
Complete to Nelson Aguilar. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At their 48-yard line.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Carr completes it. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. To throw, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Raiders 24, Lions 14.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Going deep here for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. Quez Watkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Ready to kick it off, here's Mevis. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in his spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He will push his way down to about the 14. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
Third and 2, Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you somehow force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 98 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From the 27, Carr. And his throw here is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Carr. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He was brought down by big Levi Owens-Enrique.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Carr to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Second down, Jacobs once more. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it with Jacobs. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up 2nd down. Throwing, Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Herbert to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You always think about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. So this one a victory for for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Las Vegas, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.